Welcome back, everybody. Here we are down at Evo 9X. Basement chat time. Sorry been away for a while, but we had some things to take care of. We had a couple big meetings here tonight, going over some things. Mike DeRose and I talking about a lot of things coming up, Fry Fitness and whatnot.
A lot of people cut, I heard.
So that's a possibility, Jim. Possibility. Josh was in the mix also, my man Josh McConnell from GPS. Yeah, he was in the mix too. So Mike should get rid of Tyler Pecunis. I don't want to start no rumors, though.
Yeah, well, welcome back, everybody. This is our post-Worlds edition of Basement Chat. Before we get into it, I want to just say
Augie's not going nowhere. That's what I want to say first. Augie, you're in.
It is
Yellow belt for life.
As DW says, it is silly season. So we're going to be seeing who's going, who's coming, who's staying. But, first, before we get into anything, we want to thank Muhammad and the Evo 9X group for allowing us to have a terrific meeting tonight.
Jim, it was a fantastic meeting in regards to the Challenge Cup and some upcoming things. Also, if you all take a look behind us, we have the full ensemble. Jim's got one shirt on. We got some other ones on display. They'll be down this week at the Evo 9X tournament. A ton of breast cancer support shirts. Chip in. It's a good cause.
Yep.
You can't really enjoy life if you ain't playing with second base at all, if you know what I mean.
Here you go. It's going to be interesting tonight, folks. We didn't do our usual rehearsal. We're going to be doing more of a
this is
freestyle.
As straightforward as it's going to get.
Freestyle format tonight, which could be good. It could be bad. We still have some of the Challenge Cup coaches kind of hanging out here, so we're it's a very interesting environment here at Evo. But for anybody who's watching who's not familiar with the United States Challenge Cup, this is going to be something that USSSA is putting on in January 24th through the 26th. Right now, New Jersey has what do we have? Five
teams total.
Five teams total.
5 teams.
Going down
We're
to
going to go with 4
New
men's and 1 women's.
Yes. If anybody's kind of watching this and they're not located in New Jersey, talk to your state director. Talk to players in your state. We want to try to get as much participation as we can in the U.S. Challenge Cup in January. We're sending a men's major, which will be led by Mark Carucci, men's C team, which will be led by Mike DeRose and Josh McConnell.
Correct.
What else we got, Rip? Remind me.
We got the men's D team led by Monty Dog Harris, Showtime.
Yes, we do.
Or I like to refer to him as RTD fame to date ourselves a little bit, right?
Yes.
Men's E.
Okay, we have men's E, and that's going to be led by the one and only Chris LaRank.
Correct.
And Mike Camarco of the Pals and Dominic Pilla of Family First Funding. Now, just so everybody's on the same page, those teams the coaches were selected in part by winning the state championships this year.
Facts.
So, it's not any sort of favoritism or anything with the coaches.
No drawing from a hat, no short straw.
Even though Camarco is obviously one of my favorite guys, the Pals team winning the states puts him into the mix for coaching the team. So with that, we'll come back to that later. But like I said, U.S. Challenge Cup representing New Jersey. We'll have 5 teams going down there. Including
a women's D team coached by Maureen Wells and Michelle
Battistini. Yes. Michelle unable to join us tonight, unfortunately, but Maureen was here, and she had a lot of real positive things. So,
correct.
Ripper, this weekend we will have the Evo 9X tournament. Like you said, they'll have some great new merchandise on hand behind us. I'm very happy with my pink shirt, which is Breast Cancer Month. Okay,
brings out the tanning, I may say.
Yes, it does. I've been in Florida for about a month. I'll be back back there next week. So
I wish I can get a month off of work.
We can't all be softball directors. So
no, true story.
On that note, we're going to
softball players.
Yes, and I'm not a very good softball player.
Fighter.
So let's kind of jump into it here. The World Tournaments for USSSA, Rip. The first one was the Military Worlds.
A lot of action throughout, right?
Yes. The Military Worlds, we want to thank all of the men, women in the armed forces for their service, of course.
Absolutely.
Military Worlds, Dustin Roberts, Jeff Brown, those guys putting on a real great display. It was a good tournament from everything I heard. MDL, the Revolution team went down, Rip. They played in the intramural. You know those guys pretty well.
Yeah,
Brian Berez.
Yeah, Berez and them guys, yeah.
The co-ed team went down, Rip, also. I think they were 4th place, 3-2, something along those lines. So, Ripper, anything you want to add on the military?
No, listen, I mean, aside from just the military tournament itself, again, like you touched on earlier, we are big support fans of our military, especially the gentlemen and women that reside in New Jersey for sure, right? But also, worldwide.
Yes.
Big shout out to them and thank them for their service. We can't thank them enough, that's for sure.
Absolutely, 100%. Now, the next World Tournament, Ripper, you were a part of it. We had the Men's A Worlds. That was the tournament where the Hurricane was heading straight for Vieira, and people were ready to jump off ship. But, hey, Strojan and Doc, those guys, give them hats off getting that tournament in. Ripper, what was it like down there?
It was like watching a bunch of scared men worried about a hurricane instead of playing softball. You want to know the truth?
Yeah.
I mean, that's facts are facts. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit for anybody.
Yep, had
You know
some
what I mean?
3 a.m., 4 a.m. games, those kind of things.
Yeah, it was just people were more worried about, oh my God, how am I getting home? How is like you're on Gilligan's Island? You know what I mean?
That's right.
Although I didn't see Marianne.
No, you're more of a Marianne. I think you're more of a Ginger.
No, I heard you were shacked up with her already. That's why.
I can't talk about that.
All right.
So, we're live on the air. So, anyhow, the Men's A Worlds, nothing special from New Jersey, but we did have, like I said, MPT, and above all, we thank Mark Carucci, Joe Benanti, the sponsors, and Tommy Tverdik, Frank Stout for sending those teams down there and competing at the highest level.
150%. Without those guys, listen, without the sponsors, nothing's possible in this game, folks. I got to be honest with you.
Absolutely. In the women's major, Rip, moving to the next weekend, no local teams competed, unfortunately, but it was really a good tournament.
Listen, it was an unbelievable tournament where, unfortunately, the Derby girls, Easton, got scooped by Team 24, who was led by Kyle Pearson's sister, and I apologize for not knowing her first name, but she put on a clinic.
Yes.
Hitting. I will tell you that much.
Possibly the best Pearson in the family.
Maybe at the major series anyway.
Yeah, right? I hear you. So the women's major this year, Amy Sledge out of Ohio, taking on the reins with Stroh of working with the women. The women's major was held in the stadium, which was a big hit with the ladies. So we're looking forward to another big year in the women's conference next year. Please get your teams all ready and excited for the women's conference schedule to be released. Now, that same weekend, Ripper, we had the men's Sea Worlds. Got to give a real big shout out to a very good team and a very good coach and sponsor, Ripper, Syracuse Smoke, winning the men's Sea Worlds.
They came down to Jersey a couple times this year, early in the year and then towards the end of the year. And listen, they got better as the year went on, hit their stride. They got knocked into the losers bracket, and they just dug deep. I mean, say what you want about them, you argue whether here or there, but they came out, they played hard, and they just went out and did their thing. Hats off to them. Great group of dudes. I played against them a couple times this year. Congratulations, man. You guys definitely earned it. You didn't do it the easy way. You know what I mean? So God bless you.
Yeah,
big hats off to you, gentlemen.
Big hats off to Syracuse Smoke. Tony Caruso, real first-class guy. Real great team, Syracuse Smoke. They, I really was very happy for them. They came down to our Smash It tournament this year. They were not afraid of anybody, Ripper, including the Above All and MPTs of the world. They came down to play.
I mean, listen, they're not. We also played against them in the Firecracker, and they were out there showing out too. And they're just not. Listen, what they have is great team chemistry. And I say this a lot. You can have the best talent in the world, but if your team doesn't gel, you're probably not going to win a lot, right?
Yep.
I mean, we're talking about below the major level. You're talking, the tiers down. Chemistry is a very important thing to have, and they had it. They had it all year. You can see that those dudes truly enjoyed being with each other. They broke each other's chops during the game, this, that, the other thing. But one thing they did was stick together no matter what happens.
Yep.
And it paid off in the end.
I see.
I know Tony's happy. I'm happy for Tony. You know what I mean? But it was good stuff.
Yep. I want to give a shout-out, though, to Tony Harper from our home office. He's the baseball director. Tony, hope you guys miss me down there. He's looking to get this shirt in a large. Consider it done. I'll have it for you. Either that or I bring you a Georgia Bulldogs jersey, one of the two. But
and a free roster check.
Yes, absolutely. But Tony did a hell of a job with me the last couple of weeks. I can't thank him enough. Great guy. Loved that big ball tournament down there. So Santino's and Liberty Maintenance in the SeaWorld Ripper, teams you're very familiar with, both getting knocked out in the second round of the winners bracket by teams from California. It looks like the California teams had a little, monkey on our back, shall we say.
I'm not a big fan of California teams. No, I'm just kidding around. Listen, they did, but I would tell Sean, I'll bite my tongue on that. Listen, in that area, they did lose to two tough California teams, but hats off to the Liberty Maintenance Ellery crew. Them boys, I played with them last year under a different name from most of those guys, and they merged with some other guys, and they had a successful run at Worlds, mainly because, again, it's a good group of dudes like being together. They have great chemistry. They finished inside the top 10, I believe, or just outside the top 10. There's a ton of talent. There's just a talent at every position of that team, and I'm not shocked by their finish whatsoever. And I know from talking to a couple of guys, they didn't even have some of their dudes didn't even have their best tournaments, and they still finished where they finished. The team is loaded with a ton of talent.
Gotcha. So we have in the Sea Worlds, we had Santino's, we had Liberty. iFitness went 2-2.
They had back control for iFitness, I heard.
Yeah, maybe. It's something they've got to take a peek at.
Mike DeRose told me they led the tournament in home run outs.
It's possible.
4 games.
It's possible. They from what I heard, they did hit quite a few out. MPTC winning the Chicago Ball tournament. That's
MPTC. Listen, it was tough for a team that had a very successful year for the first 3.5, nearly 4 months of the year. Had a very successful year going, went down the Worlds, and chips just didn't fall the way they wanted to. Unfortunately, they just had, hey, it happens. You're gonna have a bad tournament. It's just a wrong tournament to have a bad tournament out. However, they did bounce back nicely and win the consolation prize.
Yes,
Of kissing your sister.
the Chicago
Or
Bowl
the
tournament.
Chicago Big Ball.
And
tournament,
you know,
whatever you want to call
as
it.
somebody who was on the staff the last couple of weeks, the teams that were eliminated early, some of them, you know, didn't even want to think about that Chicago Bowl. The teams that stayed and played in the Chicago Bowl tournament on the blue quad fields had a blast.
Can we change the name? I just want to change it. Let's call it the Kiss Your Sister Consolation Prize Tournament.
We'll throw that around with
the
with the committee. Ripper, when you come to the national meeting this year, we can have you make that presentation.
Facts. Pardon.
So the men's AA Worlds MPT with a 4th place finish. Ripper, they left a little on the table, shall we say? They had a tough loss to New Breed by 1.
They let that game slip away. Listen, I got to give hats off to them guys in general. They've had a great year in the conference, and anybody who's played in the conference, such as I have, or anybody around who watches us that's played in the conference knows it's not easy to go out there and perform week after week. They had a very good year. They did trip up at the A Worlds. It did not go the way they wanted to. They could have folded up shop, showed up at the AA World, and got their brains beat in. Not what happened.
No, not at all.
They came out. They fought. They played really hard. The game against New Breed, who's it's a formidable foe. It isn't like they lost to Joe's Crab Shack, but tough game to let it slip away. And they lost by 1. They did a great job. They had a very good year, which is also headlined by the 2 players on their team who made second team all conference awards this year, and a man who's near and dear to my heart, my boy Woody
Darling,
and the pitcher who I think is one of the most underrated pitchers, at least as far as people maybe not really know his name at the drop of a dime. John Dombrowski, better known as Biscuit around his friends, I think is a very good pitcher. Releases the ball from a very low angle, very deceptive, very good pitcher, and he hits it too, which is seems to be a rarity in certain pitchers once you get past the top 2 in the country.
It's always confusing to me as a director because one of our conference umpires is also named Biscuit. So when I hear Biscuit, I think you're talking about the conference umpire, and you're actually talking about Dombrowski. So Carucci also, Rip, was selected as all-conference manager, Mark.
Yeah, listen, again, a well-earned honor, right? Let's be honest. I mean, you may not like the guy or like what he has to say or the way he carries himself or whatever he does. But, I mean, in all reality, how can you knock the award that went to him? You can't. You just can't.
You can't. I mean, you give the devil his due, and thank you to Mark for what he's done here for our state program. Mark was here tonight. He was wearing his Michigan wrestling shirt. I thought he was going to go a couple of rounds with Damo, but I guess that just didn't happen. So, in all seriousness, the men's major, Rip, Dan Smith
was unbelievable.
That was
a great tournament. I got to watch a lot of it being down there for the women's B, and then we got knocked out early because we played terrible. That's neither here nor there. Terrible. Went over and got to watch the finals. It was 2 very good games, and just I think the one inning where Rosmondo didn't score, and Dan Smith came up and put up a big number. And as Rosmondo tried running them down, just couldn't do it there in the end. I got to give the hats off to Dan Smith's coaching staff, who used 3 different pitchers to get the job done in the if game. So hats off to them and a couple of dudes they had over there that were banging around the yard. Daniel Caton, JoJo Bennett was putting on a clinic, and the much maligned Andrew Collins.
Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely. I as you know, didn't get to see any of the men's major. I saw none of it. I mean, I was getting texts. I was on the tournament staff, and I was literally looking at the stadium, but it was like the major was being held in China. I didn't get a chance to see any of it. But Dan Smith,
sure, I would have given you some insider tips.
That would have been wonderful. But hats off to my buddy Nick Santana from Dan Smith with another
Nick
ring.
Is retiring to pursue the full-time barbecuing or smoking career.
Believe it or not,
I heard it's absolutely unbelievable.
The food, Santana catered the conference banquet at the stadium. They said Nick Santana made the food. I thought it was an inside joke. He actually made the food. It was terrific. It was awesome.
Maybe what we could do is get Nick Santana to take over one of the concession stands.
Yes.
And really ramp it up a notch.
Listen,
$8 for 3 chicken fingers ain't fitting a plus-size model like me, if you know what I mean.
Well, we'll see. I told Nick that I'm sure come the duel next year he'll be playing for somebody. So Pure, we represented by Justin Mooch and Devin Riley was in the major. It's always nice to have see our local guys do well. MPT, top 10 finish, I believe, Rip. So,
listen, I mean, Mooch is, the guy's been there, done that since 2005. He's been at the conference level at least. I think he took 1 year off to take care of some things in his own personal life and at home, but neither here nor there. Guys, he's been there, done that guy. Numerous worlds.
Absolutely.
That's where we coined the mantra here at Basement Chat. Don't let nobody fool you, where I told everybody, he throws cookies and he wins rings. Unfortunately, this year it didn't happen.
I think they made a shirt about that.
Sure did, but I don't listen. I mean, hats off to him, bro. Anybody wants to stand 53 feet away at that level, you're out of your friggin' mind.
That brings us, Ripper, to the women's B. Obviously, all our brats did not have the results maybe we had hoped for during the year.
No,
but they had a very tough draw. Things didn't go right.
Listen, there's big case of what ifs and what can be, but the reality is, you have to become at the success they had over a couple times over the last few years. They should have had a better finish, and they got to learn. Sometimes whether you're up or down, you got to stick together and fight together. It's what's more important than all the other behind-the-scenes stuff. But
Yep.
hey, you live and you learn, right?
And you need to close the barn door. I mean, you had a big lead over the Minnesota team, that extreme, which
Yeah.
I got to give credit to them. I mean, I didn't see much of the game, but they never stopped fighting from the way they scored.
No, they sure didn't. And we didn't score a couple in late in the game, and that's seal your fate.
Absolutely. So I
Want
want
to lose his bracket and then shit on yourself the following day.
to give a shout out though in the women's B to two very, very good teams from the Northeast that have been down here to New Jersey to play. So What from Massachusetts? Not a team that was on the radar to roll deep in the tournament.
Maybe not on your radar.
Not a top seed, maybe on yours.
On my radar. I played them enough this year.
So What marched through the winners bracket with some really, really strong games. Want to congratulate those girls.
Hats off to So What. I feel their pain as being a guy who sponsors and coaches a team who was double dip last year. So I definitely, feel their pain in that aspect. But they played great. They had a lot of timely hitting, good defense, and great pitching. It's recipe for success. Unfortunately, they just couldn't close the door when it really needed to at the end there. So
yep, and
nothing to be ashamed of. That's for damn sure.
No surprise, Twisted Sisters, coached by Lori Bowdoin and the girls from Massachusetts in the Final Four, Ripper.
Yeah.
Those girls carry themselves the right way.
That's a class organization. Lori's a wonderful person, too. For people that don't know Lori, she's a sweetheart. Really a class act and has a lot of good ball players over there. And they, like you said, they carry themselves.
Yeah,
every business no matter what they're doing.
Every women's D team should have a chance to play against Twisted Sisters. Real good group of girls. They bounced back after losing to So What, made it to the Final Four. Didn't hit well in the last game, but again, the two teams that play here in our New Jersey program, just want to congratulate those girls and hope nothing but success for them moving forward. Moving along to the women's D, New Jersey had three teams that went down. First, before we even get into the third place Lady MPT, want to wish Lauren Rizzo from Showtime a speedy recovery.
No doubt.
Lauren, one of the aces at the pitching staff in our program.
One of the good people, too.
Absolutely, one of the greatest people. Riz, I don't know if you're watching. We all hope you'll be back in the field sooner rather than later. Showtime had an emotional had an emotional first game. Showgirls had 10 runs put on them in the first inning before even recording one out. They were down 10-0 before recording even one out. They came back and won that game. I couldn't believe it. It was really, really something to watch. So Showtime represented us well.
They did a great job in that game, that's for sure. We were watching a little bit of that.
Yeah, they didn't have the results they wanted. We'll come back to Lady MPT in a second. That consolation, the big ball over on the blue quad, and they had a hell of a run.
Be a Kiss Your Brother tournament.
Kiss Your Brother tournament, right. But that was something that for the teams coming down to Women's Worlds next year, if they are eliminated early, whether it's in the C, whether it's in the B, whether it's in the D, they really need to stick around and play in that big ball tournament. There was some very, very good softball being played with the 12-inch ball over on the blue quad. So, yes, girl, making the finals. Great job to Shauna. And
I heard G-Money tried to pinch hit during the game.
He did. We stopped and ejected him, yes. G-Money was not ejected during any of the Yes Girl games that I know of, which was a first. That was good. Lady MPT, though, led by the one and only Mark Carucci, Danielle Fagan, and the Lady MPT girls. Lady MPT was just a run away from being in the final. A lot of their games were close. They weren't down there blowing teams out. Good defense was the key for MPT. They had a 6-3, they had 8-3, they had great pitching from Ashley Perez. Also, Ashley was part of that MDL co-ed team.
She pitched very well in the co-ed too as well. From what the word is around town, I'm not shocked.
Yeah, I mean, Ashley, a very, very strong pitcher, and Lady MPT, he just couldn't get it going with the sticks, Rip. I don't know if it was.
So here's what I think to tip the hat to the Lady MPT, right? So all year, they showed up to whatever tournament we were in, whether it was local or whatever it is. And I'm not saying, you play OB, you instantly become better. But I've said on here numerous times, whether it's men's or women's, the more you step your game up and the more you challenge yourself, when you go to Worlds and you get to the level you belong, whatever adversity you face is okay because you've seen it before. You've played against it. You're used to it. So even though, yes, they didn't go out and score 10 runs a game, they won a couple of games by 1 or 2 runs, maybe 7-5 or 4-3 or whatever it may be, they weren't ever panicked.
Correct.
You know, part of that is because of that experience. Part of that is because Mark was calming them down a lot during the game. I watched a few of their games. And because some of the veteran leadership of a Danny Fagan, who's been around a little bit in women's softball and has some veteran presence, and the girls kind of resonate around her. And they just said, you know what? This is okay. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting. We're just a couple hits away from putting together this inning and coming out of here with a win. And they did it and did it and did it. You know, is it unfortunate that they couldn't get a run there to get to the finals? Yeah, absolutely. But at the end of the day, I think if you asked them at the beginning of the year, hey, would you take third right now if I said you don't have to play the rest of the year, I'm going to give you third in the women's U-Trip-D Worlds as a first-year team? I think every girl on the team would have been like, yeah, I'll take that. We're good. Thanks. And that's a tribute to them and what they did. And like I said, we played them down in Brick in the States, and I told the girls after the game, what you guys played, how you guys played today is the way you need to play the rest of the year. Keep pulling for one another. And they've done that. From that day, they were dog fighting all day long, not with each other, to keep battling back in games and keep playing hard, and they did it. And it came down to Worlds, and it came through again.
I'm not sure it's because of Mark's influence or having the conference guys around, but Lady MPT really did not back down from competition this year. Got to give them that. They played the women's major.
They get it.
They went to the Maryland major. Okay, they played the schedule. They went out and they didn't look across and see brats and fold up. I got texts, from teams all the time. Why are we playing up? Why are we playing this team? Why are we playing that team? Okay, Lady MPT doesn't do that. They just go out and play. Okay. And they'll be moved up next year. They'll play at a higher level, and that's all fine and dandy. But, again, great job out of the girls, and this is not about Mark. This is a big, big thank you to the girls on Lady MPT on a fine season. Third place, Women's D, bringing some hardware back to New Jersey.
Nothing wrong with that.
Pats are absolutely off. So, Ripper, we're going to move on to the following week, which was the Men's E-Worlds.
Correct.
Now, you asked me when we were getting this program started. We looked at this list, and you said, Evely Pizza. Top 10.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
All year long we discussed, and we probably didn't have as many basement chats as we should, but that's neither here nor there. But the sort of ones we did have, we discussed e-softball. Never heard the name Evely Pizza.
I may not even be pronouncing it right now. This is a team.
I probably think it's more Evoli, but I mean,
Evoli. It is Evoli. I'm mispronouncing it. I'm probably going to get a text
like
here.
That,
now,
where we're from, we call it Evoli.
If anybody wants to send me any serious questions for later in the program, you can text them to me. I don't have the teleprompter, so I'll do my best. Please don't waste my time and send me questions that we're not going to be able to use on the air. But if anybody does have any serious questions, please send them to me. Now, that team, Ripper, Evoli, real good run. 6-2. They went in the losers bracket. They just kept playing, and they play leagues together. This is a team that plays together all the time. They're going to fight hard for each other.
What's that real important word? Starts with a C.
Chemistry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They'll play hard for each other. Those guys are not into the drama. They're not into the extracurricular stuff. They are down there. Those guys came to play. So, we had two New Jersey teams, top 10. The Pals coming in 9th. Mike Camarco was here tonight. And
another team that struggled. On these struggles a little bit of back control problems too, right?
They had a couple ding-dongs that went.
Got to figure out how to hit it down, that's for sure, when you're playing E, because you can't hit it up.
Yeah, I mean, the Pals were put into the losers bracket by one of the two finalist teams. A ball bounce here, a ball bounce there. Pals could have had a little bit deeper. That's again. The Pals will be moving up next year. Evoli be moving up next year. There was a question I saw on the no, not Philip Wheeler's question. Philip, what's up? How are you? The big dog down there in Texas. Glad you're watching. But there was a question about who will be moved up next year. It's very simple.
Everybody.
Everybody.
That's it.
There are two ways you can get moved up. It can be either a top 10% finish at the Worlds percentage, okay, right, or the National Committee will move some teams up.
Or the new New Jersey Committee that's formed by myself.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just bumping people up.
That's yes. I'm going to
tell me first. Boom, right to me.
Yes, you'll be on the.
You see the way Josh McConnell was out there pitching? Who? Josh McConnell.
Remind me? Oh,
GPS fame.
That guy.
Yeah.
He was pitching. He was dealing.
Right to beater going by.
We'll get to him. We'll get to him in just a second. But in any case, KISS 3-2, great run out of Ed Connery and the boys.
Yeah, it was a very good run by them. The team had another team that had very good success this year. Both programs, men's and the co-ed team.
And the co-ed's not finished yet.
And the co-ed's not done.
No, we'll get back to them in a second. Family first funding at the D level. I was really impressed by these guys. I think that team was very, very close from an even deeper run, Ripper. They were put in a loser's bracket by ECSA, coached by Ray Russo from Connecticut.
Another team I was fortunate to watch some of their games. A couple of guys that stood out for me. Again, I'll congratulate them again. I think Josh McConnell pitched his ass off. I'm not going to sugarcoat it just because I'm friends with Josh. If he stunk, I tell him he stunks, and he knows that. He pitched his ass off. He did exactly what he needed to do out there. He gave his team an opportunity to
He
win.
put the ball in play. Wasn't
Right.
walking people.
Absolutely, and that's the key. He kept it, tested the heights, tested both flat and high, and when he got the pitch that he was allowed to call, he stuck with it. Made teams try and beat him.
Yep.
Another guy that had a great tournament for them is Magnus Polaire. Had a great tournament for them too as well.
I thought that the team had a very nice run. ECSA we mentioned, they came in third. Big shout out to those guys.
Jersey and play too.
They come down, they just play. Another group of guys that plays whoever's in the other dugout from them. They made it to the stadium. They were just a heartbeat away from being in the championship. So congratulations to those guys. Showtime with an excellent tournament. Monty Harris did not have his full deck. Monty was
I know the feeling.
Yeah, I mean, it's like winning poker hands with a pair of deuces. I mean, he was bluffing and,
Brunson was a 2-9 offsuit or whatever.
Yeah, Showtime just somehow.
That's off to them. There's no doubt about it.
Somehow managed 3-2. Everybody eats was down there. Dream Warden traveling, Super Studs,
fucking team,
and
PSP. Everybody eats.
Everybody eats. They were just very, very close to making it to Saturday. So, men's D Worlds, it's over.
Very good showing.
It was a very good showing. We had a lot of teams go and represent New Jersey. We're glad to see that. Now, Ripper, outside of the USSSA world, there was another world tournament that happened in Las Vegas this weekend. Tell me a little bit about that.
The ISSA 50 Masters Program World was this past weekend in Vegas, where two teams, local teams, actually wound up in the finals. Phoenix Tube,
yes,
and Mr. Rockabaldo, Sammy's Deluxe Bakery family, pushed it to an if game and just came up short. Actually, kind of a heartbreaking loss. Listen, it's hats off to a lot of guys that have been around the game a long time, and now we're over 50 playing softball still, and God bless them all. But there were some good teams out there they played and they beat, and they did a hell of a job. All them old school cats, a lot of them I knew when I first came into the game. Some of them I didn't realize that were over 50, to be honest with you, that are still out there banging it around.
Yep.
Billy Sampolsky out there, Mike Kalinowski, and you got Mike Malfetti, Donnie DeBias, and the Phoenix Tube side of things, and a couple other guys, Clancy. Listen, it's great to see those guys at 50 years old still out there playing at a high level. And listen, it's younger or older. I've said this for years, and I know people talk about California and Florida. That's great. You guys get to play softball year-round. But for a group in the area in the Northeast Corridor that really doesn't get to play softball year-round, there is a ton of talent up in this region.
And, next year, USSSA, Ripper, a big push with senior ball.
Sure.
We have some big names getting together to put the senior program together.
Absolutely.
A guy like Jeff Hall, guy like Greg Hutchinson from Texas, okay? California. The three of those guys are going to be on the committee. I am actually looking to run an over 40 next Saturday in Brick. I have 2 or 3 teams. So if there are any over 40 teams out there or players that want to put something together, we are looking to do something at Drum Point next Saturday.
Listen, it's absolutely
Fall State, if you will.
I'm actually interested to see what U-Trip comes out with for the over 40 or over 50 as the program progresses this year. And I know Jeff Hall, unbelievable guy from playing years and years at the major level.
Sure.
So I know that he's going to want to put what's going to be the best product available for guys of that age out on the field to compete against other factions.
100%. And our USSSA National Convention or National Meeting is coming up at Sanibel Island in Fort Myers, Florida. River. I'm going to be down there myself. And I think a lot of the information for senior will be given out to us at the national meeting. But we are doing a 40 tournament next week. If teams are interested, please give us a call. Absolutely fantastic job by both the Deluxe Bakery over 50 team, led by Bill Sampolsky, Phoenix Tube over 50 team.
Oh, yeah.
Really, to have 2 New Jersey teams in the finals.
It really is. Like both teams have a who's who was dominant players back in late 90s, early 2000s. Really good players that played at the high level of the game. So it's really great to see them guys like a Ricky Brown out there or, Wally Lauer. There's a lot of talent out there, man. Frank Finari. It's really good stuff.
Yep. So hopefully that'll be something that we'll look to grow on next year. If anybody has any input into the senior program, the 40s or the 50s, please, please give us a shout. Now, we're not done with the World Tournaments, however, Ripper. I mean, we have the GSL in Myrtle this week. I didn't put it on our notes section, so you won't find it there. Just kind of thinking about it, but we do have 2 teams heading down there, Ripper. MR2 is one is led by Nick Rosmini.
Okay.
The guys from
Sure.
the South Jersey, Philly area. And JSI, Brad Griffiths, on the other part of the state. So good luck to those 2 teams traveling to Myrtle Beach to play. The GSLD is in Rock Hill, South Carolina, led by the one and only Johnny Blizzard in a few weeks. So if there are teams interested in the GSL Men's D World, still sign up for that, please reach out to Johnny Blizzard. Now, the mixed worlds, the co-ed worlds, Northeast New York, as well as the New England region. Ripper, any comments on the mixed world starting next week?
You have the C, you got GPS East Shore going down, right?
Yes, led by
the comparable Josh McGowan.
the one and only Amanda McConnell and Marshall Grissom and somebody else. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
GPS or East Shore, or whatever they are, one of the top seeds in the mixed C. Also, Stanford Co-ed will be one of the top seeds up there. So we'll see if those two teams match up. That's a great little rivalry. There's 16 teams in the mixed C. For any of you co-ed players, that schedule will be out most likely Sunday evening. We're just getting the finishing touches put on it and the approval from the complex. But the mixed C will start on Friday at 6 p.m. Mixed C will finish on Saturday night. There are 7 teams for the mixed major. Beauties and Beasts, led by Shane Pilata from Long Island. That's a name we haven't seen in a little while, coming down to run the team in the co-ed major. And then in the mixed D, which is this weekend, Rip, there's, I believe, 5 teams going down from New York, New Jersey. If you want to maybe mention some of those names to the people watching.
In Squad We Trust, you got Seed Nation, the LI Storm, Class Dismissed, and Screwballs.
Screwballs with James Rosie and John Petrillo and those guys. So we have 5 teams going down in the mixed D. I have to believe that between one of those 5 teams, somebody's going to go on maybe a little run down there. Now, the mixed E is not until November 1st and 2nd, possibly into the 3rd. We'll probably have 6 to 7 teams from New Jersey going down for the mixed E.
That's fantastic.
Which is going to be neat. That'll probably be about a sixth of the tournament there. Benchwarmers, KISS, Triborough Scaffolding, Goonies, Jenkinson, Softball Box, and New York Tribe, and possibly Throwdown from Pennsylvania. So the mixed E, people, you can still sign up for that. There's no qualifying requirement for mixed E. If you have a legal roster, you can play. And that tournament, Ripper, will start Friday at 6 p.m. So we won't have to worry about any Halloween trick-or-treating. The teams can fly down on Friday morning.
4 months of softball and worlds at the Vieira complex?
Yeah.
4 months.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I was lucky enough.
That's longer than most softball season relationships.
Listen, I was lucky enough to be down there. I thank some of the guys that, I was lucky enough to run some of those tournaments. I thank Sean and Strojan and the committee for having the faith in me.
Jim, you only get what you earn in life, buddy.
I appreciate that. But I also have to thank Gary Godden and Dale McGregor, some of the guys that came before me that taught me what was right and what was wrong. I don't know if those guys are watching, but Gary and Dale, it was great to see you down at the Vieira complex, and really looking forward to seeing the both of you and the rest of the guys at the national meeting. So in terms of where we go from here in New Jersey, season is not over. We've got a lot of good stuff coming up. Ripper, we've got this Evo tournament this week. Have you had a chance to take a look at any of these teams in the Evo tournament?
I did take a little peek. One team that jumped off the map to me is TCF.
The Chosen Few.
Which is a league team that likes to, some guys on that team tout how great they are at league softball, which is awesome. But there's a couple dudes in there who've played tournament ball at a good level. One guy who I think is a great dude, hopefully he'll be out there playing this weekend, is my boy D-Money, Derek Warren.
I think I did see him on the roster.
Yeah.
We went over, had to go over the roster with those guys this week. But
he love it and hit it, D-Money, that's for sure.
Yeah, Chosen Few right now, and Mad Designs looking like the 2 favorites, although I hear Howie Deemer is a free agent, Rip. He's messaging me, telling me he's looking for a team. So I'm sure his phone will be blowing up in just a few minutes. Even some of the guys here, I think, are getting on their phone and texting him. But Deemer looking to play this week. He's in my inbox and in my text message. Hopefully somebody has a use for him. Nicky D's under Godfather Pizza will be in the upper. Should be a factor. There's a new team called Kowalski Roofing, which I understand will be a possible new tournament team addition next year. Some of the Pages guys, I don't know who is with them this week, but Kowalski Roofing should be a sleeper team. And then you have the usual, the E teams, which are going to get a little taste of some of the upper competition. The Pals, Family First, Ocean Armory, as well as MDL Reload.
Listen, it's a nice tournament. It's a nice tournament for Evo X to put on. If you buy Evo 9 next year, best uniforms in business.
It's a give back. You can see some of the stuff.
We'll have plenty of clothing down there for sale and stuff. Like a lot of this stuff will be down there for sale. You pick yourself up a pair of R3 batting gloves for the tournament starts. Probably raise your average 50 points. Maybe somebody scoop you up on a bigger team. You never know if Mark Carucci may be patrolling the grounds looking to pick somebody up. If you run a pair of those R3s, you may have an opportunity.
You may. And I know Mr. Sampolsky will be out there scouting talent this week. So Yeah, I mean it's going to be an interesting. I hope everybody comes out. Should be nice weather this Saturday. Come out to Drum Point, check out some of the new Evo 9X products, and see some good softball. The following week, I mentioned the over 40. We also have the mixed E warm up. The week after that, the October 26th, we'll be teaming up with USA softball. Ripper. We'll have the pure supplied bat tournament. It should be a good one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be really interesting to see who comes out to play in that. It's the one we usually have in Diamond Nation, but we bumped it up this year a little bit earlier. Yeah. We still have the dates of Diamond Nation coming up regardless. We're still going to have tournaments out there. I see Mark. We may have a little surprise as far as what kind of bat company is going to be supplying the bats for the tournament at Diamond Nation. Working on a few things with some people. See what happens as far as that. But the pure tournament should be a good tournament. Depends upon who shows up.
Yep. I see Mark Carucci taking some practice swings over there, Rick. He's getting ready. We've got Mr. Carucci watching, overseeing Basement Chat tonight. So I'm again, on a serious note, I believe Mooch will have a team in. I believe MPT will have a team in. But there will be 3 divisions. So we'll have the Open, we'll have the D, we'll have the E. Get signed up, talk to myself, or Mr. JJ Stemetsky to get signed up. We'll get all the rules and things like that out.
And don't forget, too, Joel will be there on site cooking.
Yes, he will.
Joel Stemetsky, I'm telling you right now, he's got to get that grill out. They probably should get himself a food truck, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
he can cook it, man. I'm telling you right now. I had a sausage and pepper sandwich last week. I know I'm a plus-size model, and I love a little sausage and pepper, but that sandwich was on point.
Listen, having Joel Stemetsky at the tournaments has taken my program even to the next level with the food choices. I mean, I had one of those Dorito bags. They were just absolutely excellent. We are not talking run-of-the-mill stuff here. So
he's not out there. Listen, he has burgers and dogs, and more or less is a throwaway. But he comes up with some really good stuff. I mean, like I said, he had sausage and peppers and was making some other crazy. I think he made a quesadilla burger or something like that last week. He gets it on the grill. I mean, listen, you ain't got to leave the ballpark. You can just go right over to see him. Prices are very fair. I'll tell you that for the food you're getting. Outstanding.
Yep. Now, we're getting close to the questions portion. So I can see the questions coming up on the teleprompter. I can also see my phone has no questions. So if there are questions for either Ripper or myself, we're getting very close to that portion of the tournament. If you are putting it in the comments.
This was a tournament. We're going to win a break.
I apologize.
Undefeated.
We're getting. I've been running so many tournaments, Rip, the last couple of weeks. I'm confusing program with tournament.
I was a big fan of the one you ran the strip.
Let's not talk about that.
Okay, go ahead.
So in any case, the Kaz tournament, Anthony Kazalonis, one of the best guys I had a chance to play with, if not the best, taken from us early before his time. The Kaz tournament is a 7-3 co-ed tournament. The last couple of years, it's been
famed up.
Fame will be there. I do remember that long home run you hit to send home Can't Even a few years ago, Rick. But the chicks do dig the long ball, from what I hear. So
that's what telling me.
I hear maybe I'll get in and step in and shoot the middle myself.
Yeah, that's it. Or strike out a batter unsuspectingly.
I could. I struck out some guys at that tournament. But
somebody a couple of DeMarinis, that's for sure.
Yeah, we can't get into that. Anyway, Anthony taken from us before his prime, unfortunately. But please come out. All of the proceeds in that tournament go to some very good charities. I should have the charity information soon.
Listen, not to cut you off, but I'm gonna. It's a tournament that if you're a softball person, you should definitely try to get together, put together a team, come out and play. I mean, winning's great and all that's fun, but for the cause, for what it does and what it gives back to, there's not really a reason why there shouldn't be a full slate of teams participating in the tournament, Jeff.
Yes.
Which will be held where this year?
Drum Point Park and Brick.
Good Lord, I hope they're like religion.
Possibly Winding River here. Got to get some of this
I'm not going to Winding River.
Good ginger ale here. I drank Pepsi if you didn't notice. So in any case,
I got the Pepsi. Here we go.
We'll go through that offline. So the Cash tournament again, 7-3. Who knows who's going to come out? But it's for a good cause. Hopefully, we'll have another 25 to 30 teams. And then Ripper, I don't want to spoil anything, but we'll have some tournaments after that. You want to?
Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of softball action at Diamond Nation. We'll have the normal tournament. We always have the big one.
Yep.
Where Max runs 7 and run an inning to the figure that out. We'll have the women playing on a small field, unlimited homers hitting the men's ball, so they can get up and touch it up a little bit. Probably get some of the guys to follow them around. Probably send them a friend request on Facebook, inbox them a dick pic or something crazy like that if they hit one out of the ballpark. A lot of these guys are perverts. But neither here nor there. Get guys to play in a co-ed team maybe a week or two after that. A lot of things happen, Jim.
Excellent. So,
May see
yes,
a couple new factions rolling out down there, too, from what I understand, might be going down. Who knows?
we will have the Diamond Nation schedule up as soon as possible. I want to say we'll be starting Saturday, November 23rd with men's, Saturday, November 30th, co-ed, and then the following Saturday with another men's. So we'll get all that stuff. You can contact Ripper or myself probably in about a week or so. Once I get back from the co-ed worlds, I'll try to get all that stuff. And then, we'll have the indoor program coming up. So, Ripper, I do have some questions here, although we covered
Shoot 'em out,
a
Kipper.
few of them. One of them you just covered. They wanted to know about Joel Stemetsky's cooking.
Again, I'm not kidding you.
Yep, you covered that.
Lights out.
I saw a question pop up that who you feel the better Coriel is. I forgot who answered it,
I've
but
said this before, Al.
Allie?
It's not even said. Oh, come on, seriously?
Yeah, I would have to agree. Yeah,
She probably out-homered her brother this year, too.
he probably did. I'm trying to take a look at some of these questions.
Any word on who will be joining the MPT major team?
Along with Flip.
Yes, I know the complete roster, and I'm not telling anybody. But if you Venmo me $100, I'll give you all the information you want.
That's funny.
Only two things in life I do for free.
I don't want to know what the other one is. Ryan Hogan, over 40, he wants to have a mat. I guess it's a plate and a mat?
Why, were the umpires that bad, Hoax?
Not sure. Susan Pilla, no, we're not going to go even consider whatever that question is.
Maybe she has some important to add to this thing, Jim. Read it out.
I'm not sure. It just says outstanding commentary, guys. She's a big fan of the program.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She tells the truth.
Hey, Mom. John Bly, before I took a note, asked about why Pagey's people isn't included in the coaching staff. They are included in the coaching staff. Okay. Jamie was not at the meeting tonight, unable to attend, but he is part of the men's D staff. We talked about
That
Deemer.
solves that problem.
Talked about Deemer. He's still looking for a team. Unfortunately, nobody's texted him yet, so maybe they think he sucks. I'm not
Go
too sure.
pumpkin picking, Howie.
Howie, you're a newlywed. Take the day off. Do something with your wife.
Yeah, go pumpkin
She'll love
picking.
it. Yeah, go pumpkin
On a hayride.
picking.
On a hayride.
Ripper, nobody ever wants me to go on any hayride.
Maybe a little trip out to New Hope, get some warm apple cider and the Amish folks
Yeah,
and
it'd
stuff
be
like
wonderful. Howie, take the day off. Trust me, they don't need you to play. All right, so I guess nobody wants him. Let's take a look here. Somebody asked, they wanted to know where I get the nickname Skip. I think that was Philip Wheeler. That's just from running teams, Skipper, Skip. And then Don O'Reilly wants me to.
Philly's lying to you. When he used to run the bases, when he was around in second, he'd kind of skip over the bag a little bit.
Don O'Reilly calls me Columbo. I don't want to get into that either.
What is that about? Whoa. Double J. What's the Columbo thing about, bud?
He is
Pay
referring.
attention. Yeah. Sorry.
Guy's scary back there.
It's all buddy.
Oh, yeah, where is Augie tonight? He didn't show up, huh?
No show.
Yeah.
Probably fishing or some shit like
Hopefully
that.
he's,
I did see the text he sent to Rose about cutting a couple of guys, but I don't want to get into that.
Yeah, I heard there's been some cuts there. There's some unhappy folks. DeRose is going to be blowing up in about 10 seconds. Mike, hope you're enjoying the ride home, buddy.
For 100, I'll tell you who was getting cut.
Thanks for coming up tonight.
Venmo me.
We covered that.
My new gig for now.
Pumped.
One info, it's $100. Venmo me.
So I don't have any more questions.
Somebody owes you money? Can't get it collected?
Look here.
Venmo me.
Let's see. Bill Sampolsky, thanks for the shout out. Joe Stemetsky's telling him to get a cane. Do we have any other
I'm
questions?
going to tell you this. I guarantee you the over 50 guys, and God bless you for being out there bowling. I love watching it. Seen a lot of dudes. Like I said, I kind of gave it to the game watching. You dudes must have slept in Epsom salt for 3 days straight, that Phillips team. They had a lot of games to play. Good Lord. It was struggle watching Calgill just get over to third base to coach.
That's too funny. So I'm not able here to access on my phone any of the questions. Guys from my staff, are there any other questions? You guys want to shout them out for me? I'd love it because I could use some help. If not, we get ready to start winding this down here.
Jeff, you live over there?
Joe Hafner wants Deemer. No, I think he already signed with somebody. He's no good. What else do we got here?
What do you know about
Compression.
compression?
The question is, what do we know about the bats? The answer is, I don't know much. That'll be out at the national meeting. But the stamp is now going into effect November 1st of 2021.
Correct.
So the old bats will be good until then. There'll be a little higher number on the compression tester.
240 is the number that's being tossed around.
Tossed around, yes. And Don Cooper will be the person that I will be asking at the national meeting if he's not already presenting, and we'll get we'll get all the information out. But yes, there will be a new bat standard.
Well, you're going to have to ruin my thing about trying to get $100 and tell everybody where to find the info on MPT, but I'm trying to make a little buck here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
People don't want to research. They don't have Google. Maybe they're not on Facebook. You can like the page, MPT Softball. I believe it's an open forum for you to go ahead and in there like. It is monitored, so be careful what you say. But you just cost me a hundo, bro.
Yeah, I don't have any other, I don't have any other questions unless somebody else wants to jump out here, Ripper. So we're going to get ready to start right now. Do we have anything else in the peanut gallery? What's that? Okay.
Great. You guys doing a hell of a job. Thank you. If anybody's looking for a job part-time, I mean, it pays horrible, but the company's great. So the rest of the team getting shit canned after this.
Of course, we want to acknowledge the gentleman to my left who had a big birthday this week. So want to say happy birthday to Mr. Reporting.
Appreciate it.
I mean, if the guys, people want to come around and sing here with me, we can do that.
You sing happy birthday, you can get fucked up on Teams. So let's go.
Yes. All right. So I see. We just had all the.
Although you did try and blow out my candle earlier, we won't get into that.
We just had literally. Oh wow!
Fucking around
here we go. We're gonna be.
This is how smart the staff is here at Basement Stat. They're so retarded they couldn't even light the fucking candles.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
They did this because I'm a plus size model.
This is unbelievable here.
So I'll let you know
Let's see if we can get these. Let's see if we can get these candles lit up here. We hope that.
Here's what some of you can use. These are little gloves.
Yeah, we're gonna have.
I gave mine up a while ago.
Guys, you want to come on here? We'll
everybody sing in a different language. Whatever makes you feel happy about yourself.
Happy birthday to you.
I banged your girlfriend, it's true. You got cut from my fitness tonight.
Happy birthday to you.
Folks, I blow out the candles, but I'm gonna get Copenhagen all over the chocolate chip cookie. I'm about to fuck up in a minute.
We don't really have anybody here left to blow the candles out. So Ripper,
Jim, give it a shot.
You want me to?
Yeah, it's great. We smoke 3 packs a day.
Ripper, I made a wish here. Hey,
for $20 we could have got a blood from Elizabeth. All right. I'm just saying what they're telling me.
Listen, guys, on a serious
note,
hey,
thanks for checking into Basement Chat. We really appreciate it every time you tune in. We'll be back shortly. Exactly when I couldn't tell you. Probably when Jim gets back from another month-long vacation in Florida. I mean, he is the king of directing. So
thank you, guys.
Thank you all. See you soon.
Enjoy.
God bless. Enjoy.
#PlayUTripleX.
Enjoy your Halloween.